Welcome back to Grade 7 Mathematics. In this lesson, we'll explore ratio and proportion, the mathematics of comparing quantities and sharing them fairly. By the end, you'll write and simplify ratios, divide amounts in a given ratio, read map scales, and solve both direct and inverse proportion problems. Here's our plan for the lesson. We'll begin by learning what a ratio is and how to simplify it. Then we'll share a quantity in a given ratio. After that, we'll read map scales used on real maps. And we'll finish with two kinds of proportion, direct and inverse, that describe how quantities change together. Let's start with the central idea. A ratio compares two or more quantities of the same kind. If a class has 3 boys for every 2 girls, we write the ratio of boys to girls as 3 to 2. The order matters. 3 to 2 is not the same as 2 to 3 because it tells us which quantity comes first. We simplify a ratio just as we simplify a fraction, by dividing both parts by their highest common factor. So 6 to 4 divides by 2, giving the simpler ratio 3 to 2. A picture makes the parts of a ratio clear, so let's build one. Think of a ratio as a bar split into equal parts. For the ratio 3 to 2, the bar is divided into 5 equal parts. 3 of those parts are boys, shown in blue, and 2 of those parts are girls, shown in deep blue. Counting the parts gives the total. 3 plus 2 makes 5 equal parts. Seeing the parts this way is the key to sharing a quantity, which is exactly what we'll do next. Now we can share a quantity in a given ratio. Suppose 2 friends share 20,000 francs in the ratio 3 to 2. First, add the ratio numbers to find the total parts. 3 plus 2 is 5 parts. Next, find the value of one part by dividing the amount by the total parts. 20,000 divided by 5 is 4,000 francs. The first friend receives 3 parts, that is 3 times 4,000, 12,000 francs. The second friend receives 2 parts, 8,000 francs. And the 2 shares add back to 20,000, so our answer checks out. A map scale is a ratio between a distance on the map and the real distance on the ground. A scale of 1 to 50,000 means 1 centimeter on the map stands for 50,000 centimeters in real life. 50,000 centimeters is 500 meters or half a kilometer. So if 2 towns are 4 centimeters apart on the map, the real distance is 4 times half a kilometer, which is 2 kilometers. The scale is just a ratio, so the same multiply and convert method always works. 2 quantities are in direct proportion when they increase together at the same rate. If you double one, the other doubles too. Suppose 3 notebooks cost 1,800 francs. The quickest method is to find the unit rate. The cost of just one, 1,800 divided by 3 is 600 francs each. Then 7 notebooks cost 7 times 600, which is 4,200 francs. Find the value of one and you can scale up to any amount. 2 quantities are in inverse proportion when one increases as the other decreases. More workers means fewer days, but the total amount of work stays the same. Suppose 4 workers build a wall in 6 days. Multiply to find the total work. 4 times 6 is 24 worker days. That total never changes. So with 8 workers, the time is 24 divided by 8, which is 3 days. For direct proportion, we keep the rate. For inverse proportion, we keep the product. Ratio and proportion appear all around us. When cooking, rice and water are mixed in a fixed ratio so the meal comes out right every time. When friends split a bill on mobile money, they divide it in a ratio. Reading a map means turning its scale into real distances on the ground. And at the market, scaling a price up for more goods is direct proportion in action. Whenever quantities must stay in balance, ratio and proportion are the tools we reach for. Before we practice, let's avoid the traps that catch most learners. First, keep the order of a ratio. 3 to 2 is not the same as 2 to 3. Second, always simplify by dividing both parts by their highest common factor. Third, when sharing an amount, divide by the total number of parts, not by just one of the numbers. And finally, watch the direction. More workers means fewer days, so that is inverse proportion, not direct. Keep these in mind, and your working will stay accurate. Here is a quick summary of the key ideas. A ratio compares quantities of the same kind, and the order matters. We simplify a ratio by dividing both parts by their highest common factor. To share a quantity, one part equals the amount divided by the total parts. A scale of 1 to n means 1 unit on the map is n units in real life. In direct proportion, we find the unit rate and multiply, while in inverse proportion, the product stays constant. Now, let's check how much you remember with 3 quick questions. Here is the first question. Simplify the ratio 12 to 8. The highest common factor of 12 and 8 is 4. Divide both parts by 4 and the ratio simplifies to 3 to 2. Question 2. Share 35,000 francs in the ratio 4 to 3. The total is 4 plus 3, which is 7 parts. 35,000 divided by 7 is 5,000 per part. So the shares are 4 parts 20,000 and 3 parts 15,000 francs. Last question, and think carefully about the direction. 6 taps fill a tank in 8 hours. How long would 4 taps take? Fewer taps means more time, so this is inverse proportion. 6 times 8 is 48 tap hours, and that total stays fixed. 48 divided by 4 is 12, so 4 taps take 12 hours. Wonderful work. You can now write and simplify ratios, share quantities fairly, read map scales, and solve both direct and inverse proportion problems. Take a moment to try a few problems on your own. In Module 4, we'll build on these skills to explore algebraic expressions. I'll see you there.